Podcast Girl is back with episode number 3 of podcast series Planet Earth. How are you enjoying it? So, in the first chapter, we discussed about the formation of Earth in the grass level. Then we discussed about Earth's interior, where we dig deeper than the first episode. And now we're discussing about continents. Okay, let's get into the topic. Earth's total landmass is exceeded by a factor of almost 3 to 1 by the surface of the ocean. Still, the major land divisions, the continents, are what gives the shape and physical identity to the planet, because we humans exist on the surface, isn't it? The 7 continents represent some 57 million square miles in area, portioned unequally among them. They range in size from Asia, the largest, to Australia, the smallest. Although Europe and Asia form one large landmass, they are usually regarded as 2 continents due to the cultural differences between the people. Okay? Now, the 7 continents as they appear today represent just one episode in an ongoing scenario of wandering land masses. It's a process whose history reaches back to the initial formation of continental material on Earth's crust almost 4 billion years ago, a process called plate tectonics. The crust and the top portion of the mantle form a rigid shell around the planet that is broken up into 16 large sections known as plates. Heat generated inside Earth and distributed through convection currents causes the plates to move slowly. That same sort of movement has been going on for hundreds of millions of years. Most geologists believe that the continents were created when vast plates of rock collided, forcing one to slide under another in a process called subduction. The crust then cooled and melted and formed magma or molten rock. Erupted to the surface, the magma built volcanic islands that eventually fused with other islands and adjoining plates, became the first continental material. Now you know how the continents were formed. How did the continents form? As Earth's continental masses grew bigger, moving all the while, they shifted in relation to each other and coalesced into different arrangements over hundreds of millions of years. The current configuration of continents is just a temporary one in the eons-long process of plate tectonics. 3 times during the past billion years, drifting land masses have merged to form supercontinents. In between these stages of continental drift, they split into smaller land masses before recombining again. Scientists predict that a new supercontinent, Pangaea Ultima, will eventually form 250 million years from now. Fun fact. Continent. Continent comes from the Latin continens, held together. One of the Earth's 7 large continuous masses of land is continent. Tectonics. From the Greek tekton, which is builder. Study of the changes in Earth's crust and the force that produces such changes is tectonics. Subduction zone, the oceanic trench area in which the seafloor underthrusts an adjacent plate, dragging accumulated sediments downward into Earth's upper mantle. In simple words, forcing one to slide under another in a process. Okay. We have to be prepared always for the possibility that each new discovery, no matter what science furnishes it, may modify the conclusions we draw. This is a very beautiful quotation. I repeat, we have to be prepared always for the possibility for new discovery. No matter what science furnishes it, it may modify the conclusions we draw. Okay? It means that you shouldn't completely believe something. Like, it may change in the future. When we discover something new, there might be alterations in the thing you believe. Okay? So just don't believe everything just like that. Okay? Question before you believe something. Then we are going to talk about the person who did this quotation. He's Alfred Wegener. He's an earth scientist. He existed between 1880 to 1930. German Alfred Wegener among the first to use balloons to track air currents, participated in expedition to Greenland to study polar air circulation, but became better known for his theory of continental drift. People had already noticed that the coastlines of Western Africa and Eastern South America seemed to match, but Wegener found evidence that the continents have been joined similar fossils from both sides of the Atlantic and tropical species in Arctic areas. He posited the existence of a supercontinent, Pangaea Orleans, that eventually broke up, and he presented his ideas in the origin of continents and oceans, but few believed him. In the 1950s and 1960s, studies of the ocean floor demonstrated a mechanism for crustal movement, and Wegener's theory of continental drift finally gained acceptance. Okay, that's all with the chapter continents. Okay, before ending this podcast, I want you to recall all the continents we have. First one, let's go alphabetically. It's Asia, then Africa. Let's not go alphabetically, let's go in the order of the size. Okay, Asia is the biggest continent. It's almost 17208,000 square miles, and then Africa 11608,000 square miles, and North America 944,900 square miles, and then South America 68840 square miles, Antarctica 51,000,000 square miles, and then Europe 3841000 square miles, Australia 2970000 square miles. Okay, so it's 7 continents: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, and Australia. And from 250 million years from now, you're going to get a new continent that's Pangaea Ultima, according to some scientists. I'm not sure. That's all, guys. Okay, I'll just say you one more fast fact. Earth, not a sphere, bulges in the southern hemisphere. It's a fast fact. And I missed the fast fact in the last chapter. It's Earth's inner solid core spins at a different rate from Earth itself. That's all. Bye, guys. See you in the next episode.